just det.
Det går att ställa om lite också i vissa ställen. Bygga som man vill vara.
Hi there all ad riders out there and welcome back to the channel. Today I am at Bike Trollhättan and we're going to test ride the Ducati DesertX. This will be cool, so hang on. All right, bye bye baby. Wow, it was a warm day on the Ducati Desert Cross. What a wonderful machine. Just look at it. Wow. It's so fun to ride. You know it. We love to ad ride and as well do these test rides, don't we? I didn't thought I should be able to test ride this bike, but suddenly the opportunity showed up at Bike Trollhättan, my local dealer. They actually was about to call me to do a test ride, but I showed up before them calling. That's fun. Oh, I'm so hot right now, and I bet you are interested to hear what I have to say about this bike and walk through it, the details I have paid my attention to. I think both me and the bike needs to cool down a bit. And what is better than a hot drink then? A small coffee, as we say, okay? Whew. Even on Ducatis, what the heck, it's Italian brand, so why not a small coffee? Ooh. Been longing for that one. Oh, that was a good one. Right, so before I start talking about this bike, don't forget to check out my last video where I celebrate my 8K subscribers with a giveaway, and that will be open for 1 week more. So have a look at that video and see what you can win. And another tip of outdoor stuff that could be of use for you out there. So check on that and contend. Oh, been longing for this. Coffee in the woods. Well, well, well. So what could we say about this bike? I bet you're curious. Ducati Desert Cross or DesertX. I don't know how it is supposed to be spelled out. Desert Cross, sounds cool, doesn't it? Well, it's a 937cc engine, the typical Ducati V-twin, configured as it's supposed. However, the engine characteristic is a little bit different from the racer bikes. It's more low end ground, what I can feel. The engine is really smooth and as well linear. I was actually expecting some on the top end ground, but it's so much low end ground on this engine, and suddenly when you look at the speedometer, whoa, what happened? So it's not really a kick in the engine, but it performs 110 horsepower. What I could have read before, Ducati has lowered the weight on the engine, so it is a development on this bike. Should tell you, I have only ridden this bike in the rally mode. That means that I have ABS on the front and somewhat or not on the rear. I think it actually was no ABS on the rear. It has some traction control. It's on the 3rd level of traction control in the rally mode preset. And the wheelie control is turned off and the power is full. So that is somewhat of the characteristic when you ride in rally mode. And I have not tested the other modes because I don't give a... I'm just kidding. It's 6 ride modes, and they are like street, rally, urban, wet, enduro as well. That is pretty much like the rally, except from the throttle control and engine power is medium. And the sport mode as well. Probably I forgot something. There's much of the electronics to remember. You figure out that on Ducati's home page. But I will toggle through the modes and instrumentation for you to have a look at. You have Brembo brakes. The brakes are really good. I have not tested them in full ABS, but I have actually tried them really hard on the asphalt, and they bite really good. And it also comes with a 21-inch front and an 18-inch rear wheel. Both are tubeless. And one thing that I immediately recognized is that you have 90 degrees valves. That is so good, no hassle when you fill air. You have 230 millimeter of travel in the front and 220 in the rear, somewhat less than I have on the 790R. I did not really feel any difference of this kind of trails and roads I have been ridden so far. It's good enough. It's pretty high ground clearance. I think it's 250 millimeters of ground clearance, and that's good. Ducati doesn't offer a lot of packages like they do on my KTM. This bike actually comes fully kitted with all the electronics and everything like that, even cruise control. What you don't get is heated grips. And of course you need to if you want crash bars and luggage, you need to add that, of course. Otherwise the bike comes fully kitted, and that is really neat of Ducati to do so. Pack it up with all the electronics like it should be, just heave it away. If you ask me, this bike have the looks. It looks really cool with this old school Dakarish look. Just have a look at it. So nice, beautiful color with this all white and the red and gray black stripe in the front, and these front lights that are really cool. When we look at the rear end, we have this steel frame is elongated up here, so you have a grab handle in the rear. That could be handy in the mud. I've been through some mud here today with this demo bike, and it went well because it have been somewhat dry. I didn't need to use that one, luckily. You see this tail light, how cool isn't that? Look very old school, but it is LED and shines bright. I will show you that. Then we get to the controls here for the feet. You get something that looks like roller pegs with rubber in that you could take away. Very easy, I felt. Really good, very grippy, wide pegs. For me, this shift lever is a little bit short. For the motocross boots I wear, it's a little bit short distance. You could probably, of course, adjust this a little bit to have a better position and maybe get a little bit better. Otherwise, I think that some would like to get an aftermarket one that is a little bit bigger, more room. When I'm standing on the peg, it's very low, so I really need to focus on shifting. So that is something that you need to adjust on the bike. If it's easy or if you need to replace it, I don't know really. But you have quick shift as standard as well, and that works really great. I like the quick shift, very distinct and nice on all gears. Sounds really good when you open up the throttle and use this quick shifter. Bop bop, and we like that, or Braap as we say. I think I talk so much, I need one more quickly. So everything you see here is stock. You have the stock exhaust, stock muffler. The suspension is fully adjustable. You need a screwdriver to adjust it though. In the rear you could easily change the preload here. And you both have the compression and decompression adjustment on the shock in the bottom and on the top on the other side. That needs a screwdriver as well. And when we get to the foot brake, so you can easily adjust the height of the rear brake lever. That was actually cool. And both the front brake and the clutch is adjustable. The tank itself is metal. That somewhat surprised me. Alright, so let's see if it's possible to toggle through the instrumentation. You see the display is in portrait position or standing position. That is actually really cool, a very clear display to read when you ride. You can see easily the gears, speed and the revs, the range, so it's fully fueled, this bike. You see an odometer as well further down. Let's go through the settings menu. You just press down this button and hold it down and you can get to the menu and change the mode. You toggle through up and down and then confirm with the press. So as you can see right now, I have it in rally mode, and when we have that you can see the setting: powerful, the wheelie control off, traction control setting 3, and the quick shifter on. ABS is on setting 1, and the engine brake control in setting 2. So you can as well set the engine brake level. How cool is that? And that differs. In sport mode you do not have much engine brake at all, but in the off-road mode you get some engine brake. So when you then go to the enduro mode, you see it changes. Power is low, and the wheelie control off. Traction control is on setting 3, and the quick shifter on, ABS on setting 2 this time. And that is really interesting because setting 2, then you have some ABS on both wheels, but it allows you to slide, because there are 3 settings, and the 4th when you turn it off all. The number 1 is fully on. So then you can go through like this. You have the setting wet in the display, and all the parameters differs, and it goes on from touring, urban, sport, and so on. And then you could go to these menus. You can push exit. So this is how it looks. You can perform a lot of settings in here in the display. Really nice, cool, intuitive, and easy. You can also set your own settings. You can go to setting menu, and you can, in here you can change riding mode to a personalized mode. So you can set all the parameters as you would like to have them, if you don't like the original different settings. And you can go through here and adjust a lot of things, the lighting and so on, display setup, and so on. Thing fancy with the starter buttons. You have the heated grip button here. It's pre-assembled, but you don't have heated grip, so you have to add that to get it. You have these automatic daylight running lights. Looks really cool on the Ducati. Hey, so you're probably interested in what I like to ride this bike, how it felt. I could easily say it's a very comfortable bike. The seating is very comfortable after 2 hours that I have been riding. The riding position is very, very comfortable. It's I think it's a little bit better than the 790R. You don't need bar risers, what I could feel. It was very, very comfortable to stand and ride on the bike. Very balanced, and for my height, it matched very, very well, as it do on the 790R as well. If I compare it to the AGP that I rode last week on the Skog event all day, that one felt that it should have bar risers for me. If we talk about the windscreen, it's very much like the 790R. You have some sound around you from this windscreen, but it protects you very well. I think the T700 and the AGP PR7 actually is a little bit quieter behind the windscreen. The bike feels really lightweight. It is 202 kilos dry, and that is like 13 kilos more than on my 790R dry. You don't feel that actually, because it feels very, very lightweight. And it turns around very, very quickly in the low speed maneuver. If you do a 180 turn, it's really easy to turn it around. It steers very good around corners, and it also steers very good on the gravel roads and on the asphalt as well. This is as well a very good sports bike, what I felt. And of course, I couldn't push it that hard on the gravel roads or on the forest roads here. It's not my bike, so I have to be somewhat careful. So I couldn't push it. I also feel that I need to be comfortable with all the controls before I push bikes and so on. You maybe feel that as well out there. However, it's really, really comfortable. The only thing that I feel that I should change is actually this gear lever that I need to change to be really, really comfortable on the bike. to shift comfortable. The quick shift works perfect. It's distinct. The suspension, I have not played with it, but it felt good for the riding that it felt very good for the riding I have done today. I think for those who like to brap with the sound would like to change that muffler because it's very quiet to be this kind of bike. I was expecting a more brappy V-twin. I was expecting a more brappy V-twin actually. I was a little bit surprised, but it is that V-twin grunt under there. So I think an aftermarket muffler will fix that, or the cat, or if you remove the cat, probably. The tires are Scorpion, Pirelli Scorpion tires. I think they are a little bit better than the Karoo 3 that comes with the 790R. They are very grippy on the asphalt, they are grippy on the gravel, actually really good on dry surfaces and so on, and wet. The only situation where they not excel is in the mud and wet grass and moss like this. They could be a little scary if it's wet outside. Not a big deal. I think it's great OEM tires for this kind of middleweight bike actually. Bash plate, maybe someone would have to look into. It's decent bash plate actually. It does its job, it seems to. What I could see, it's thick as well. Seems to protect some important parts, and as well on the side here it is the engine case on the sides that probably is not that good protected, very exposed. I do not really know how the engine guard or crash bars look like on this bike, if it protects the tank and the engine. I do not really know, I have not looked into it, so that is something for you to have a better look at. And the price tag on this bike is everything included as it is from start. You have all the electronics and so on. The only thing you miss is heated grips and the luggage, of course. It's 170,000 crowns, and that is also approximately 17,000 euros. I think that is competitive to the BMW 850. Correct me if I am wrong. It's a little bit higher priced than the 790R, but on the 790R you need to add packages to get to this level of equipment. Just by the look of this bike, the stylish Dakar look, I just love the design. When I first saw it, that bike outside of their parking with the demo bikes, I just saw it and was like, wow, in present, it looks so good. It is a beautiful bike. Is it worth swap it from the 790R to this bike if you already have a bike? I think if you are into change the bike for some reason, age or just changing because it's time and so on, it's definitely a bike that I could consider to have instead, no question about. Very agile and nice package bike. I think the Italians have made it this time very good with the Ducati Desert Cross. Everything you look at in the detail looks actually very well made and thought out, engineered. I think it's a good package actually. I had a look under the saddle before, and I saw that it comes also with a lithium battery as standard. That is very cool of Ducati. So you get a lot of premium stuff on the bike from start. And I think it's spot on in this middleweight market of bike actually. Very nice, and I can't say that it sticks out or differs very much from the 790R or the 850 GS. These are three bikes that are very popular, I think, and really nice. And as well you have the Honda, of course, the Africa Twin. This did not feel as top heavy as the 850 though. What I could feel, it felt a lot better balanced than the 850 regarding that. Otherwise they are very, very similar to ride, no doubt about that. It's very, very easy to forget stuff when you sit here in the woods and try to conclude a bike, but I think I've done my best so far from my head. And please comment on this below in the comments on this video. Do you think of the review and on the bike and so on? So let the comments grow and figure out what I have missed out there. Now I have to take one more coffee and then I'm on the road again. And I hope you liked this and see you on the next adventure. Oh, that was a new color on the T7. You got that as a bonus, but not in World Rally, the bike that Thomas ordered. Still have to wait. And the KTM corner, always a winner. Det där var skoj det, Christer.
Var det så?
Jajamän.
Det var inte dåligt, va?
Nej, det var en riktigt rolig cykel. Just. Där ser man ju.
Då ser man hur
där finns en rallysadel också.
Ja, det är rallysadel. Så har du tanken bak. Extra tanken som sitter där nu.
Extra tanken. Ja.
Så de har gärna, här ser du hur den ser ut.
So that's a rally accessory pack.
Då ser vi hur mycket bredare han blir bak. Den går ut över och bort med den.
Det är som rally eller mer adventure också.
Sen har du ett offroad-paket med motorbågar och en annan hasplåt.
Ja, det är en annan hasplåt också. Ja, vad intressant. Jag sitter på den.
Ett annat avgassystem.
Ja, det kan jag tänka mig. Då låter det mer.
Topbox. Touringpaket då, så får du med väskorna och sånt, så ser man hur man kan ju bygga den precis hur man vill ha den.
So, I learned a lot with Christer, the dealer at Bike. We looked at the configurator for the Desert Cross, and there was a lot of nice packages just to pack on the bike. Right, another test rider or a buyer. So look what I found here. Ari-Pekka, the one and only. Now a part of the bike team.
Yes. Loading the new bikes for tomorrow.
It's gonna be a long day again.
And this time I was first. I was before you to test ride the new bike.
Yeah. It's just because I was away. I was in Öland yesterday.
That's how it is to have a work.
Yep.
Fantastic test ride, about 3 hours. And this thanks to Bike in Trollhättan. So if you want to test ride this bike and live somewhat local, you can go to Bike in Trollhättan for a test ride. I really recommend it. Ciao.